Well, good evening. Welcome to the 2012 Kissimmee City Commission debate. This is for seat 3. We want to welcome you and thank you so much for being here or tuning in on your TV. We want to start off by thanking our sponsors, our title sponsor, KUA, Kissimmee Utility Authority. Thank you very much for your sponsorship. And we really want to thank our friends from Walt Disney World for sponsoring this event. It's these good corporate sponsors that make this event possible. And we really want to thank our friends from Access Osceola for filming this and putting it on the Government Access Channel. Well, let's jump right into it. We're going to have a 1-minute opening statement from each of our candidates, and we're going to begin with Mr. DeLong.
I'd like to also start with thank yous. Thank you to the Chamber for the invitation. Thank you to the citizens that are here, that are desiring to be educated voters, for those that are going to be listening to the broadcast on Access Osceola. My name is Mike DeLong. I've lived in Kissimmee since 1994. I'm a graduate of Florida Christian College. I live in the downtown historic district with my 4 kids and my beautiful wife, Kat. Since the time I've been in Kissimmee, I've worked in the faith community arena. I work for the Vine Church. I'm a local senior pastor. And so I'm hoping to bring some of the same characteristics, same values that I've learned in that role into the role as a city commissioner. I'm looking for your vote. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Garcia.
Good evening, and like Mr. DeLong said, I would like to thank all the people who made this possible and the citizens for being here to listen to what we have to say for this race to City Commission. My name is Carmelo Garcia. I moved to Kissimmee in November of 2006. I've been here ever since, adopted it as my home. I am a minister. I have a nonprofit organization that works with the community, and I've been working with the community since I got here in 2007. And I am basically just looking to bring the knowledge of leadership and basically just help the community grow and expand in a more positive way. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next candidate is Jaime Matos.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here and for this opportunity. I have been a resident of the city of Kissimmee for 22 years, and for so many years I've been involved in the community. Some of my involvement is with the city of Kissimmee, being a member of the Kissimmee Historic Preservation Board. I'm actually also sitting in the Kissimmee Police Pension Plan Board and also with the Osceola County Parks and Recreation Board. If elected commissioner, some of my goals are to ensure the city will continue in the right path of growth and economic development, and in the same light, to promote some overhaul or some review of some city ordinances in order to be more competitive with other municipalities in the neighborhood. Besides that, just to maintain an open door policy to everybody in the city. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next candidate is Hector Rodriguez.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Hector Rodriguez. I'm a retired New York City correction officer. I moved to Kissimmee in 2004, and I started to do volunteer work in the city of Kissimmee, and that's how I became so involved with the city. A year ago, I decided to run for commissioner, and I decided to start working right away a year ago. I would like to know the strength and the weakness of a city, and that have taken me to every corner of a city. I have visited and I have spoken to many residents here in Kissimmee, and they share the concern and issues. If I'm elected, I will be a commissioner that will finish the work that is in progress right now in the city and make sure that our city continues to grow to the 21st century. Thank you very much.
Our next candidate is Sarah Shaw.
Hello, I'm Sarah Shaw. I moved to Kissimmee at the age of 8 months old, and I've been here ever since. I have a lot of time and interest invested with this city. I also have a debt of gratitude to pay back to this city. I've always played in the parks here. I've skated my skateboard down the streets of downtown, I have a lot of personal issues with the city of Kissimmee, and not really issues, but a lot of concern. When it comes to Kissimmee. If I'm elected, I'm going to do the best that I can to listen to everyone in the city that I have the pleasure of meeting and addressing your concerns as citizens for Kissimmee. I've been involved with a lot of volunteer work in the city already, and I plan on doing that no matter what happens in the future. I do care about this city a lot.
And our next candidate is Dravonda Woods.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming tonight. My name is Javonda Woods, and I am a native Kissimmean. I was born here, educated, went to the public schools here, raised my kids here, had a business here, and I have been involved in this city for over 30 years. I'm in favor of our young people learning what it means to be civically minded, to have community service at heart. I support our business community here, and I will work to ensure that once we develop new businesses, we go after them because they can sustain jobs in the city. We know what the jobless rate is, and so we want to be sure that we bring in cities, communities, and businesses that will have jobs at stake. I'm not a career politician, but I am a career public servant. And so I have you, the citizens of Kissimmee, at heart. I've always worked to make sure that this is the best city it can be. Thank you.
Let's have a big round of applause for all of our candidates for being here today. Well, we are very fortunate to have an outstanding panel to ask questions today. We have with us the editor of the Osceola News-Gazette, Brian McBride. Let's hear it from Mr. McBride. And with El Osceola Star, Jorge Perez. Mr. Perez, thank you for being here. Mr. McBride, the first question will come from you.
Thank you. Hello, candidates. As you're aware, the city budget deals with the hundreds of millions. What kind of experience with budgeting do you have?
Mr. Garcia.
With budgeting, as working with an actual budget, I don't have any experience, but I have a degree in business administration, and I've worked with budgeting and different types of scenarios that deal with budgeting. I have a nonprofit organization that I do maintain a budget. It's not a large budget of hundreds of millions, but the budget that I do have, I maintain it very well. I disperse the money where it needs to be put and work with what I have in order to make the goals of what I need to do and the money that I have last and go exactly where it needs to go. So if I were to deal with the budget of Kissimmee, I would do exactly what I do with my nonprofit. Make sure the money goes where it needs to be and do what it needs to do for the city of Kissimmee.
Mr. Matos.
Yes, coming from 16 or 17 years with a municipality in Orange County and having to deal with so many large projects actually in the administration and design and administration, I do have some hands-on experience in dealing with budget. $126 million of the city budget, it is a lot of money for many people, but really, in my opinion, to run a whole city, we are still not really a large community. Also sitting with the police pension plan, we have to deal every time at every single meeting with the budget of the pension plan, how we're going to allocate funds in the different markets. So we have a very portfolio that, to cover all the needs for the pension plan.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Currently, I sit on the pension board for the fire department. I am responsible for administering millions of dollars for the fire department pension fund. So I have an understanding of how to manage this type of funds that I am being tasked to. Other than that, it's pretty much you have your staff that will give you guidance and they will tell you and you see what the expenditures are and if it's affordable. And that's the only experience that I have.
Excellent. And the question is budget experience. Ms. Shaw, you're next.
I have owned a small construction company for 13 years through the recession, so that's given me a lot of experience with personal budgeting. And I've learned a lot about budgeting in the last year being on the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. We've done a lot of budgeting when it comes to the parks, and we have a lot of construction going on right now, which has brought me a little bit up to date, especially with the city and the budgets of the city.
Excellent. Ms. Woods.
Yes, I have experience in my household with budgeting my finances. If I don't have enough, I can't spend. I have owned a business, and I know what it's like to have revenues and expenditures. I am sitting on the board of my church. As a board of director, we look at a budget each year, so I know what it means to put things in place for the budget and then work toward generating the revenue for it. I also know that this city is a zero-based budget, has a zero-based budget, and that if we don't, have enough revenues coming in, then we can't make the expenditures and cuts have to be made. So I do know a little bit about budgeting, and I will bring in my experience to the city. And of course, we have wonderful staff here in the city who will guide and lead me in the direction I need to go to make good decisions.
Mr. DeLong.
I do have experience in budgeting the last 10 years. Anytime you have a corporation, whether it be profit or nonprofit, you are budgeting. And so the last 10 years I've been doing, overseeing budgets for the Vine Church, and that's my experience.
Mr. Perez, the next question comes from you.
I am going to ask the same question that I asked to the other group of candidates. I am sure that you are aware that we need to increase the economical base for Kissimmee. Now we have a wonderful airport over here in the city. Now my question is, do you have any plan for increasing the use of the airport and increasing the revenue, having more air traffic?
The question is plans for the airport. Do you have plans for Kissimmee Airport? And Mr. Matos, you're first.
Yes, I do support actually plan going on with the city of Kissimmee to expand the functions of a municipal airport. Also, the plans in place already or in ideas with the Office of Economic Development of the city. I do believe the municipal airport is a potential mine that we have, and it is my purpose to actually try to take the best out of it. Thank you.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes, I believe the Kissimmee Airport, municipal airport, has a great potential. I recently met with the director of the airport, Mr. Loy, and I had an hour conversation with him. I believe that our airport has a good potential to have flights coming in, charter flight from South America, Latin America, and they could use this airport as a hub instead of Orlando Airport. Of course, that we need to work on all the details to bring that plan into action. But I do believe that our airport has right now over yearly, they have over 150 operations, and they accommodate over 350,000 corporate jets per year. That's a lot of flights, folks. And they work 24 hours a day, 7 days, 365 days a year. So as you can see, we have a great potential to make this airport a destination stop here in Kissimmee.
Excellent. Ms. Shaw.
When we built this airport, when actually the Army built this airport, they built it in such a way that we can actually accommodate jets that are up to a 737. We have a 5,000 and a 6,000 square foot or linear foot runways. We've got ILS excellent instrument landing systems, and we've got 3 FBOs, which are fixed base operators. Our airport right now is state-of-the-art for what it is, and I would love to see it expand, if that's possible in the future, to maybe accommodate things from overseas. But after we're done with Martin Luther King Jr. Park Boulevard and Hoagland, after Hoagland's done, that's going to open up a world of opportunity for our airport, and accessibility to getting to the airport from Disney and from Orlando and all, that whole area is going to open up a lot, which is going to bring a lot of opportunity for the airport.
Ms. Woods.
Yes, I recently spoke with our city manager, and he was telling me that there is a charter flight company that wants to come in to this airport to bring in, the charter planes are about 60 passengers, to bring in passengers that do not want to come into the busy Orlando airport, and Kissimmee is centrally located. As Ms. Shaw said, with the construction going on Hoagland, it's going to divert a lot of traffic into that area, and so we have a major opportunity for expansion there. Industrially, we're looking at the property, the Lancaster property, and with that, developing the industrial area out there is going to be a perfect fit for the airport and the use of the airport to bring in charter flights and more opportunity for jobs in this area.
Mr. DeLong.
I think we have to also commend the current city commission. They've done a great job of already tracking a trail for us on this. They've laid out a number of objectives that I think are going to expand the airport. They've already increased runway 24. They've already looked at securing a new tower. They've already began the process of acquiring property around the airport. They've already gotten a $2 million grant process in place. So they've done a number of things that have already begun to lay the groundwork for expanding the airport. I think the one piece that possibly could be missing is that you have these roads that are coming in. You've got Hoagland, you've got MLK, but you've also got to deal with that 192 corridor out there. You're never going to be a destination for great corporate events, great corporate travel if you don't deal with that 192 corridor. So,
Mr. Garcia.
I believe that Kissimmee is a great city, and with a municipal airport being larger than what it is now, I think that it would actually be great to come to Kissimmee. People come here all the time. 192 corridor, as I was saying, if you look at it now, many businesses are going out of business, and they're putting up, there's a lot of vacant areas. With a municipal airport as big as the plan that the current commissioners have put in place, would be great for the city. And I am for that plan 100%. If everything is done accordingly to how it's supposed to be done, and make everything affordable for the residents, and make sure that the businesses are going to benefit from that traffic that's going to be coming in and out of the municipal airport. I don't have anything against that airport, and I am actually for it 100%. Thank you.
Our next question will be from Mr. McBride.
Currently, the city is installing red light running cameras in the city. What is your opinion on them?
The question is, what is your opinion on red light cameras? And Mr. Rodriguez, you're first.
I think that is a deterrent for folks to run red light. If you know that you want to run a red light, you want to get a ticket. Simple as that. I think I'm in favor that will cut down on fatality, accident on the street. I think that this camera is also a tracking device for the law enforcement, and I think that's a good idea.
Ms. Shaw.
I was actually here when the commission voted for this to come into place, and I couldn't have been more thrilled. I mean, one life saved is worth every little bit. It's actually, not going to make a whole bunch of money or anything like that, but I think it's an excellent idea. And, like I said, if we can just save one life with the red light cameras being installed, then that is awesome. It is a great deterrent. We've got the signs there that remind you, oh, there's a camera here. So, if you run this red light, we're going to get you.
Ms. Woods.
Laws keep us in force, don't they? They keep us in check. And so I think the camera is a good idea because we need to be mindful of the laws, and we need to follow and obey the laws of the land. I just wish that we could make more money off of the red lights. I have a little statistic here. It says that the tickets are $158, but out of that, $70 goes to the state, $10 goes to the trauma center, $3 goes to a spinal organization, and $42 goes to the vendor. So it doesn't leave us with much money coming into the city. So when you see your tickets, if you're fortunate enough to get one, just keep in mind that the city does not make a lot of money.
Mr. DeLong.
I agree. I'm interested to see how the money gets spent in connection with how the vendor gets paid. I agree that the lights are good and the cameras are good, but I'm also interested to see, and I know this is above my pay grade, but I'm also interested in these studies that are coming out recently that are telling us that if they just increase that yellow light by 1.5 seconds, it'd reduce these accidents. So I'd like to see that also looked at.
Mr. Garcia.
I'm a driver, and I like to look both ways, but these lights are very necessary, and I am for it 100%. Not only do they save lives, but it keeps also the accidents from happening and drivers from piling into each other. I don't know how these people like to run red lights, not knowing that there's a child passing by, crossing the street, riding a bike, a pedestrian coming through, and they just want to run through that yellow light just so that they can make it at the last moment. And these red camera lights, they need to be installed in all major sections. And when I get elected, I would actually go for putting these lights in every possible area that can keep saving lives.
Mr. Matos.
Well, I agree that it's a deterrent and may save lives and all that is a good thing. However, I would like to see that when the city makes a deal with some developers and any company trying to bring money, business to the city, that we get a better cut out of the deal. I would rather wait to see what happened and see when the contract is due for review. So maybe my proposal will be that we get a better deal out of that, or we will increase a yellow light for 1.5 seconds.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And our next question will come from Mr. Perez.
Okay, this question is about taxes. Are you in favor or opposed that any tax or fees be approved first by citizen referendum?
The question is, do you favor or oppose before any tax or fee is raised, you get a referendum from the voters? That's the question, and Ms. Shaw, you're up first.
That is a good question. I, of course, would love to hear what the voters have to say about everything when it comes to the city and spending the city's money and collecting the money from the citizens of the city. I think there are some things that definitely need to be addressed when it comes to spending. I would like to know, yes, what the citizens would like to say, whether or not, whatever form that's in. I think that if more citizens were to come out to the meetings and address the concerns that they have, here before the dais, then, we would know exactly how they feel. And that, I think, would be the best way to do that.
Ms. Woods?
Well, it's a twofold issue for me. The referendum is good because we always want to know what the citizens are thinking and how they feel about issues. However, it does take money in order to put issues on the ballot. So my concern would be, first of all, let's let staff do their jobs. Let's let them work it out, bring the solutions to us, and then we, as a body of policymakers and directors, we would direct them on the next step to make. At that point, if we have citizens' input and we still feel that the citizens are not in agreement with what we've come up with, then, of course, we would put it on the ballot. That's my opinion.
Mr. DeLong.
I agree with Devonda. You're electing commissioners to make these type of decisions. They make these type of decisions now. I don't think that every tax increase has to go to a referendum, but I'm against raising the taxes. In comparison to the surrounding cities, we're doing a great job. And the city commission's done a great job. And our taxes are where they should be. And so I'm not in favor of raising those taxes, but when it comes time to deal with taxing, that's why you're electing city commissioners.
Mr. Garcia.
When it comes to taxes, I also agree with Mr. DeLong and Ms. Joanda Woods when she says that not everything should go to the citizens. I mean, you are electing, you have a day on August 14th to go and put a vote, and you're voting for us to get elected to come and lead this city into the right direction. So according to whatever judgment we have that we should do to make the city better, it should be left up to us. Of course, it is important what you say now and always, because if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't get elected. But I think that it should be at the commissioner's discretion whether to raise taxes or not. I don't like to raise taxes either, but when it comes to putting it on the referendum, I believe that it should be at the discretion of the city commissioner because the citizens elected that commissioner to do the job that they were elected for.
Mr. Matos.
Thank you. Well, flat out, I would oppose any new tax, right? I don't think we need to charge more the already ill pocket of so many citizens. It costs a lot of money to put something in the ballot for the citizens to vote on. And so far, at this moment, I think the city is doing really good, and the city manager is handling the city in a good way. We are in good shape right now, and I think we can work with what we have right now. I don't see in the future any need to increase any tax.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes, if I got elected as your next commissioner, I will make sure that you are informed of any proposal to have a tax increase. I'm opposed to increase any taxes. We have to fiscally tighten our belt in our household, and the city should do the same. Before they pass that bill to you, I want to make sure that we have exhaust every avenue before we reach that decision. Thank you.
Excellent. Before we move on to our next question, I just want to remind all the candidates two things. One, if you have to cough or something, please turn your head from the microphone. And remember, you do not have to get closer than 6 inches to the microphone. Next up, Mr. McBride, questions from you.
For the residents who are going to vote in August, why should they choose you over your opponents?
Why should you be chosen over your opponents is the question. Ms. Woods, you're up first.
I should be chosen as your next Kissimmee City Commissioner because I have been involved in this city for most of my life, for over 30 years. I'm in favor of supporting the police department and developing relationships with citizens in their neighborhoods. I will continue to advocate embracing diversity because I know what it's like to be included, to want to be included. But I do caution us that with that desire to be included, we do not become exclusive. I support efforts to ensure the homeless so that they will make sure that they get the access they need to services. I support the business community and will work to ensure that we have sustainable businesses here. And I just have this city at heart. I work for you, the citizens. I have before this time in place, and I will in the future once you elect me as your next commissioner.
Mr. DeLong.
I love Kissimmee. I don't think of Kissimmee as broken. I think of Kissimmee as home. And I want to see Kissimmee to be the kind of place where my kids and their kids will continue to call home. When it comes to the skill set that I bring, I hope to bring integrity. I hope to bring honesty. I hope to bring clarity and directness into the commission. But I'm following in the footsteps of some people that I think have done a really good job. I hope to continue in that same vein if I'm elected as city commissioner.
Mr. Garcia.
Thank you. I moved here from New York. Had I not liked or loved Kissimmee, I would have moved out and went somewhere else. I have family in basically every part of the state, but Florida, Kissimmee in particular, I have held close to my heart. Not only that, but when the citizens of Kissimmee elect me on August 14th as their next city commissioner, I only promise them that I'm going to listen to them, work hard for them, and that this is not going to be a part-time job. I'm going to be at the office 5 days a week. I'm going to work my 40 hours a week. And I'm also going to promise them that I am going to give 20% of my salary to programs for the community to help the community grow in a way where when my kids are born, can live here and share the beautiful city that we call Kissimmee. I want to work for you, and I am asking you to vote for me on August 14th so that I can be the next city commissioner and take over where Mr. Gimski left off. Thank you.
The question is why you should be selected over your opponents. And Mr. Matos, you're next.
Thank you. When I came to Kissimmee in 1990, I just fell in love with the city. And at that moment, I decided this was a place I wanted to live, to raise my family here. My children grew up here, and we all have grown up in the city. Kissimmee is my home, no matter what. Kissimmee is my home. I love the place. If I'm elected commissioner, I'll bring my values to Kissimmee of love for the city, of being grateful to this community. I believe you have to give back to the community some of the blessings you have received. And I'll bring integrity to the city and reliability. I'll be an open door commissioner to everybody to represent the whole community equally and always be there for the city. Thank you.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes, as a public servant, retired public servant for over 30 years, and I continue to serve our community after I retire. after I moved to Florida, Kissimmee, I started to volunteer in the community. As you can see, I have a desire to help people and bring the city to the 21st century. As you know, the unemployment rate in Central Florida is over 9.1%, the highest unemployment that we have here in this area. See, this is what I'm talking about working for the community, bringing jobs to the community. All those jobs that we're losing that are going to Orlando, bring them back to Kissimmee. Thank you.
Ms. Shaw.
First off, I want to say how excited I am to be up here with 5 other people, and there were 4 other people here, and these are people that care about this city that I love so much, and I'm very excited, about that. Growing up here, I have had the pleasure of meeting many different fire and police and the fire chiefs and the police chiefs. If you elect me, when you elect me to be your commissioner, I am going to go to work for you. I already have. I've changed some policies over at KUA to make it more friendly for the community and better for the people of Kissimmee, and I'm going to continue to do things like that to keep people in check and to come together as a community with the Toho Water Authority and with KUA and with the city and do what we can to fill up every building in Kissimmee that's empty. And the 192 corridor definitely has to be addressed, and I plan on doing that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next question will come from Mr. Perez.
I don't know you remember, in the past there were some business person unhappy because they were promoting their business using like person dressed like the Statue of Liberty or like an animal. Are you in favor having more strict regulation about using person dressed, in that way for promoting business?
The question is, are you in favor of more strict regulation as opposed to letting folks dress up in colorful costumes or have inflatable animals in front of their business to promote? That's the question. And Mr. DeLong, you're up first.
Yes. I just think that it doesn't look good when you're driving down 192 and there's all of these people dressed in every cockamamie, outfit they could possibly wear and spinning these signs. I think our community is better than that. I want it to be better than that. And so, yes, I'm in favor of tighter restrictions, if not complete abolishment of the whole thing.
Mr. Garcia.
I am one of the people that drives down 192, and it's distracting to see somebody dressed in a costume. You can swerve to the left or swerve to the right just by looking. Sometimes it's interesting, sometimes it's appalling. And, it can cause accidents. I am against it. But there are other ways that businesses can attract customers other than just having somebody out there distracting the drivers on the 192 or wherever it is that they have their businesses. So, yes, stricter policies for businesses to promote their businesses and bring more customers into their office. I also have a plan for that as well to help them bring more people into their stores and into their businesses so that they can grow and provide more jobs for the city of Kissimmee. So I am against that, but I am also there to help them bring those customers in and give them an idea on how they can do that. Thank you.
Mr. Matos.
I'm not in favor of more strict restrictions. I think for being so strict, that's why we have lost so many jobs in Kissimmee, so many businesses in Kissimmee. Many of them have to close their doors and go somewhere else. However, I am in favor of reviewing city ordinances and city codes. So to see if we can be more competitive with other municipalities in attracting business to the city. I actually see pretty good that this week the commission approved in first hearing the human signs in the city. I think we're going in the right direction that way.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes, to me that showed me that it's a sign of distress of the businesses here in Kissimmee. The regional competition, the shifting demographic, and the absence of a game plan has taken away all these businesses and traffic along 192. That's why you have to see all those people jumping up and down on 192 trying to attract your attention. So yes, I would like to address the problem first. Why all those businesses are in such a distress on 192, and we must develop a master plan to bring 192 back alive again.
Ms. Shaw.
I am not a fan of human signage. I think that it is a major distraction, and it's tacky. When you're driving down the road, I don't think you need to have signs blocking the sidewalks or people walking out into the roads even. And I don't agree with it at all. I think that we recently have just last week the commission had to redo the ordinance pertaining to human signage, because it was passed down. I think it's a federal or a state law that we, can't override. I would like to see stricter rules for the human signage, and I think that we're on the right track with that.
Ms. Woods.
I have mixed emotions, kind of a dichotomy on this, because while I understand that human signage may not be all that appealing to some people, it is a job to others. And so I think the City Commission has taken the first step this week in looking at the human signage ordinance. I know within my spirit that, the letter of the law kills, but the spirit gives life. So if we could find a compromise there somewhere to allow the signage without it being so tacky and so distracting, then we can reach a happy medium with that.
I'm going to remind the panel this is going to be our final two questions for this debate, and we are going to have our next question from Mr. McBride.
If it proved cost-effective, would you ever talk about consolidating city services with the county?
The question is, would you be open to consolidating city services with the county? And our first respondent will be Mr. Garcia.
Is passing an option? I didn't understand the question. If they can elaborate on it.
Sure. Mr. McBride, would you like to elaborate on your question one more time?
For an example, consolidating city services, if the city and the county worked out to where the county would provide law enforcement for the whole county. When you take a department from the city, department from the county, and merge them.
So there would be no Kissimmee Police Department. It would just be the Sheriff's Department would cover the city of Kissimmee, or the Fire Department for Osceola County, or any individual service that you'd want to think of. So that's everyone, and I know that you were first up. Is everyone clear on the question? Excellent. Mr. Garcia, would you like to take a shot?
Of course. I would actually like to see that, to see the Kissimmee Police Department and the Sheriff's Department unite together. There'll be more officers. There will be more money, and you can consolidate. That would be a great idea. I would actually be for that, because when you divide, you have the city can have a larger budget, the county may have a smaller budget, and you can only hire so many sheriff deputies and some Kissimmee. I would actually be for that, to see all the services merge and provide the city of Kissimmee with the best possible service in law enforcement and safety and whatever else that we offer them. If we can do that and it can be done, I would be for it.
Mr. Matos.
We've been talking about consolidation for a while already. Idealistically, yes, it is good. It is good to hear that we're going to be cost effective and we're going to merge together. However, I have mixed feelings about that, because it's always so hard, like to know who's going to have the pan, who's going to hold the pan, by the handle. It's a question that really is a tough one.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes, just for the record, when I was an officer in New York City, we merged 3 departments, housing, transit, and city, into one department. Instead of duplicating all those departments, we made it into one department. And I think that idea of consolidating the police department, the sheriff department, is a good idea, as long as we don't lose officers. And let me stress that, as long as we don't lose any officers because of the merge, I'm in favor of that idea.
Ms. Shaw.
I actually am not in favor of merging any of the departments with the county. I think it has been turned down a lot in the past, and when you look at it, what I think would be a better solution is to outline and define the city's areas. Right now we have like annexes in the city that are actually county, that it takes longer for a responder to get to because they have to come through the city to the county. So I think that if we defined the lines of the city and made it to where Kissimmee Police Department and Kissimmee Fire Department, you know, they respond to this area, that there would be a lot less, you know, waiting for emergency services and things like that.
Ms. Woods, consolidation.
Consolidation is a good thing if it's managed properly. I think that some of the services could be managed in a way where we don't necessarily consolidate, but we use each other's resources. For example, if there's a fire that's closer to the county and it takes the county just a short time to get there, where it would take the city a longer time, let the county go there, build the city, and we pay for that service, you know, at a reduced rate. So we could work together like that in the police area. If the sheriff's department is closer to an area, let them dispatch their deputies, their officers, and then the city would reimburse them for their services or work out some sort of agreement with so many services. So we wouldn't necessarily have to consolidate, but we could certainly look at working together to be more efficient and effective in how we take care of our citizens.
Mr. DeLong.
There are some areas that the city and the county can look at consolidating, but it's probably not fire or police. You know, there are a number of different commercial businesses in town who get an insurance rating, who get a break in that insurance rating because of the ability for the city to provide better service than the county can currently provide in fire and in police. So you're talking about a huge increase to private businesses that's just not sustainable. But there are some other areas. I know the City Commission has already looked at 911 services. I think as a citizen, I think it's a little bit ridiculous that we have 3 911 services, emergency service call centers. I think we need to have that conversation continue on as new elected officials come in. Maybe there can be some further cooperation and agreement to consolidate there. And I'm also interested in the fact that when you go into the county offices now, if you're planning a building, if you're a commercial builder, then you can do that all online. You can't do that in the city, and I think we can consolidate there too.
Thank you very much. And our final question in the debate will be from Mr. Perez.
Okay, this requires a very short answer. I want that you be specific and tell me one thing that you would suggest for helping you know, to attract more business and fill all this empty property in Vine Street and in the OBT.
The question is, what is the number one thing you would do to fill empty businesses and attract jobs to Kissimmee? And the first responder will be Jaime Matos.
To work a very well-defined plan of the Office of Business Development with the county, and also revise our actual ordinances and codes to see if we can be more competitive with other municipalities to attract business to Kissimmee and to maintain the jobs we have in the city.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes, I will have a master plan. I will have a goal that we would like to accomplish. One OPT and 192, that corridor right there, is along the corridor that interconnect Osceola Regional and Kissimmee Hospital. You know, so that's a great opportunity to fill that area with businesses that cater to the medical industry. So having said that, having the summer rail also coming up soon, it will be a great way to revitalize that area.
Ms. Shaw, your number one thing for economic development.
My number one thing that I would want to do for economic development in Kissimmee, I would like to see the different organizations, as I said before, Toho Water Authority, KUA, and the City of Kissimmee with zoning and planning come together and make it easier for people to come to Kissimmee. Don't go to St. Cloud or Orlando and open your businesses there. Open your businesses here in Kissimmee, and we will work with you, and we'll make it easier for you. You know, that's what I would like to see.
Ms. Woods.
I would like for us to develop some incentives to draw the businesses here. We know that we have the medical community coming in the Lake Nona area. so then we could partner with the hospitals here. We're already working on that to work on that OBT 192 corridor, to expand the roads, to bring in businesses there. We're looking at the CRA to develop areas on the West 192 corridor to bring businesses here. And again, we have to look at sustainable businesses like the medical community, like education, bringing people in here, because when we bring the medical community in, that's an educated group of people, so we have to work on education. So what we need to do is look at incentives to make them come into this city, draw them in with good incentives, and also look at our impact fees that we're working on with the CRA in mind.
Mr. DeLong.
You know, the city has done such a great job with the CRA downtown, and the redevelopment that took place there was in part due to the CRA. That set the context for private business guys and developers to come in and pour their hearts out. I think that the city's continuing to look at CRA development on the OBT corridor and the 192 corridor. I think those are good ideas. I think you got to include in those ideas things like impact fee suspension in those areas, allow developers to come in and not be charged these impact fees to fit, to get these businesses off the ground. I think you got to look at things as simple as like commercial trash in those areas. Why can't in those CRAs we have options like the county has for commercial trash, where you have many providers that you can choose from at a lower rate, and things like, in that CRA, you got to, like, what if it was just as simple as, hey, let's provide a reduced KUA bill to those businesses that are startups in those areas. We want to say, hey, come to these areas, come to the CRA, do business here. We're going to make it easy for you. Those are just simple ideas.
Mr. Garcia.
I'm just going to jump right into it. I'm just going to say that I am for local businesses. I have one plan that I've been working on, and I actually adopted it from the city of Kissimmee. And when you go outside, there's a sign that says the 350 plan, and I'm actually going to enforce that when I get elected as county commissioner, when the people elect me, because you know what, it's a great plan. Another thing is to get people to come here and do business in Kissimmee. You need to be able to give them incentives. You need to be able to help them grow their business, and so that they can actually hire people and waste their money here. A lot of people are going to St. Cloud, like supermarkets and warehouses, because they have incentives for the companies to grow and expand. So if we give them incentives, tax breaks, they'll come here and they'll give jobs, and I'm actually working on a plan for that. So hopefully I can put it to work when I get elected. Thank you.
Well, that's going to conclude the question portion of our debate. I want to really thank our friends from the Osceola News-Gazette and from El Osceola Star. Thank you for participating in the panel. And now our candidates are going to have an opportunity to give a 30-second closing remark, and we're going to begin with Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes, if I'm elected as your next city commissioner, I will bring the city forward. We have many, many plans right now on the burner, and I want to make sure that we continue to work and bring the city to the 21st century. We have much work to be done, but I assure you that I will be a fair commissioner for all. Thank you very much.
Ms. Shaw.
If you elect me, I'm going to listen to what you have to say, and I'm going to do my best to put that into effect and work for you, for the citizens of Kissimmee. We have a lot of things, like right now on the burner, we've got the Hansel plant that is going to, as soon as we decommission that, that's going to be really good for the city. And we've got a lot of things that I'd like to see right on the track, and then some things that I'd like to expand on.
Ms. Woods.
I love this city. This is my home. I'm committed to working for you. I will be truthful and honest with you. My door will always be open to listen to you. I know that you have a sense within you that knows when people are telling you the truth. And you know right now that I'm telling you the truth, and I will always be truthful to you. So I want you to just listen to my heart and vote your heart. Vote Javonda Woods, your next city commissioner.
Mr. DeLong.
I think there's a temptation to look at past commission leaders and to demonize and say that there needs to be a new savior to come in, and that's just not really been my heart. I think that the city commission has laid out some really great goals for the future of Kissimmee. I'd like to see those goals come to fruition. This seat is a way in which those goals can continue to be advanced. It's one vote, and I hope that you'll consider me as your next city commissioner.
Mr. Garcia.
I want to thank everybody for giving me the opportunity to come here and express my thoughts. And I just want to let you know, it is my first time running. I may not have the experience or qualifications that the current commissioners have, but they gained. And, you know, I want to gain the same experience. And I want to work for Kissimmee. I want the citizens to understand that I want to give them courtesy, professionalism, and respect. I want them to know that I'm going to be there for them whenever they need me, and I want them to understand that I'm here to work for them and for their future and their family's future. Thank you very much.
Mr. Matos.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have 6 candidates here to choose from, and I believe the point is to elect somebody that has been involved with the city long enough to know which way we are direction and how to direct the city on the right path. Somebody who's a team player, although not necessarily will agree with everybody all the time, but somebody who understands that takes a group effort to actually move forward. Somebody with strong leadership to represent the best interests of the city. Please, August 14, vote for Jaime Matos. Thank you.
Let's give a big round of applause to all of our candidates. They did a great job.
Thank you.
Before we conclude, I just want to thank our sponsors tonight. We have our friends with KUA, Kissimmee Utility Authority. We're our title sponsor, and Walt Disney World. We really appreciate their support. They made this event possible. We want to thank our panel, Brian Bride with Osceola News Gazette and Jorge Perez with El Osceola Star. We want to thank you for watching and our crowd for being here, but more than anything else, we really want to thank our candidates. They all did a great job. They were very civil, very courteous, and very thoughtful in their answers. And so thank you for putting yourself out here. It takes a lot of courage to run, and we just like to remind everybody out there to go and vote on August 14th. Thank you very much. Good evening.